you girls over here, please.
Well, the bowling club's been my second home for 2 decades. We are very glad to support organisations that in turn support our community. We look at what we do as seed funding, and in turn, when we produce a little bit of seed, they grow that, and in turn the communities benefit by having their work that's amplified many times over. So this year we are focusing on 3 organisations who we felt needed a bit of a boost. So Echuca Neighbourhood House School we've been supporting for a period of time. This year we decided to put in place a year-long project that allowed them to achieve funding that they wouldn't have been able to with the usual type of support. With the Moama Girls Football Club, Kate approached us a little while back to say that she was keen in bringing together this group, and we thought it was tremendous to be able to support Kate and in turn have Kate support these young women. The other organisation is Boys to the Bush. They have some really terrific individuals involved with the program, good strong characters that really give the young man that they mentor someone to look up to and whose values to follow.
These food parcels take a lot of thought and consideration. Each box is catered to either a single individual, a couple or a family. A single food box for a family will feed that family for 3 days. Providing people with something as simple as food relieves their pressures and their stresses just that tiny bit. And often while they're here too, we can refer them on to other services and supports that they can tap into and get the help that they're needing to get back up on their feet.
Boys to the Bush has been going since 2017. It started by 3 school teachers in Albury. We roughly mentor about 26 to 28 boys per week. What we do is not complex. We listen to the boys. The number one thing these boys want is your time. These mentors are creating conversations with these boys about guiding them in their life and in how their life is at the moment and what they want it to be.
When I went to the Moama Bowling Club and I said I want to start this 14s program, and I explained the reasons behind it being an umpire, seeing it from a different side behind the coaching side of things, seeing players get physically hurt due to girls tackling and hurting players because these little ones are out there to fill a side. They were all for it. So, and even in the boys' footy, like you see these little 14-year-olds come up into the 17s, and these 17s are men, like they're big. So I would hate to be as a mother, have my son out there, 1, not be protected, 2, absolutely get annihilated just to fill a side.
It's a pretty amazing thing to be able to wake up each day and have that real joy about knowing that you potentially could really make a difference in a young boy's life by doing such the simplest of tasks sometimes, or guiding them through some of the most difficult situations. The whole organisation has done around 13,000 kids in the last 12 months. So that's a lot of boys that we're getting in front of and beside and working with to hopefully change their lives for the better.
Some of them have really come out of their shells. Some of them wouldn't even say boo, and now they're screaming and yelling and carrying on, and the confidence. And even like some of them out here, they rely on each other. So some of them who don't have brothers and sisters or the greatest home life or got stuff going on, they know that there's my leadership group that they can go and call on them. Even just seeing my daughter, hey! As you can see, they don't do me much justice sometimes, but no, look, I can't look, my daughter's out there, 12 years old, not the most confident, quite shy, and all of a sudden she's flourishing and really brought it out of her shell, absolutely loves it.
You'd be surprised who walks through these doors. Like, we do have homeless people come through, we have low income families coming through. We have parents that have just had to pay car repairs that can't afford to feed the family walk through. I think too, a lot of our clients don't think they'll ever find themselves in this situation and relying on a food service, which I guess for them is why, maybe part of the reason is why it's so overwhelming for them to walk through our doors, especially for the first time. A lot of our clients do struggle with that first point of call, which is what we do see, especially in the last 12 months, more often than not, people coming for the very first time to access our food bank service. And that's tough, like that's really tough.
I used to be, before I started at Boys to Bush, one of those parents that used to drive around town late at night, seeing boys, particularly out on scooters or bikes, thinking, why aren't they at home? What it took me to realise is that home isn't a safe space for them. It's not a place they can actually be, that they feel comfortable and safe. So they're actually out surviving, not running.
As you go further on up through to Swan Hill and Ultima and Quambatook, clubs like that are folding due to the lack of support that they're getting from, businesses and stuff. It's just not there. So they rely on people like all these amazing sponsors here to keep the club going.
Without this program, these boys continue to be potentially disconnected. They potentially get onto the wrong side of the law. If we can prevent these young boys from getting down that path and we guide them into passions that they are wanting to drive themselves, it creates the opportunity for not only us but our community to bring up better people and better young men to be more productive and really valued in their own communities.
Our community is honestly the most giving place I have ever been to in my life. From the average Joe down the street to, the multi-million dollar companies, like everyone's willing to pitch in, especially in times of need. It's just amazing to see what we can all do when we work together.
Boys to Bush took a few years before it got here. When it was decided that we'd open it, I thought, who in the community can best support us? So I approached the Marama Bowling Club with my managers and our CEO, explained to them what it is that we're doing and what we're trying to achieve. The Marama Bowling Club jumped on straight away and were more than happy to help us with being a part of the journey that we're on.
We've worked in closely with George and the Marama Bowling Club on countless projects over the years, like through COVID, floods, even beforehand with our community lunches, our community bus, and obviously most recently the Nourishing Hope Initiative. We will have had just over $120,000 come into our bank account. For a not-for-profit like us, running a food bank service that isn't a funded program, that has just been absolutely mammoth in helping us.
The amount of support they put behind some young kids who have got the talent but don't have the funds or the financial, so they miss out. The bowling club are there. If it wasn't for them supporting the needs of people in the community, I'd be shocked to see what could happen to this community.
It's tremendous to see that so many community groups and so many volunteers put in so much for our community. Without them, we'd be lost. When outcomes are achieved and we see young women winning a flag and we see young men achieving employment and individuals in our community that are in need of assistance getting fed and getting shelter, and that's incredibly heartening, and that's why we do what we do. Without people like Dickie and Sarah and Kate, we just couldn't achieve that. It's the old saying, it takes a community to make a community work, and that's the truth. We need everyone on board to contribute to what we see as invaluable projects in our community.